Summary of Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen. Introduction. Welcome to an illuminating journey into the depths of the human mind, guided by Joseph Nguyen's transformative book, Don't Believe Everything You Think. This profound exploration offers a revolutionary perspective, positing that our thoughts are, in fact, the primary source of emotional and psychological suffering. Prepare to discover how this book aims to steer readers toward an enduring state of peace, happiness, and liberation from the pervasive burdens of anxiety, self-doubt, and the relentless cycle of overthinking. Nguyen's work promises a fundamental shift in our very relationship with our internal dialogue, providing not just temporary fixes, but a lasting paradigm shift. Described as warm, genuine, and remarkably straightforward, Joseph Nguyen's writing distills timeless wisdom, drawing from philosophy, spirituality, and psychology into concepts that are astonishingly simple and easy to grasp. The book itself adopts a placid and calming narration, making its profound ideas remarkably accessible. Through a conversational tone, often peppered with insightful reflections, it invites readers on an intimate journey of self-discovery, promising clarity and directness in its approach. This is not just another self-help book, it's an invitation to a completely new understanding of human experience. Chapter 1. The Core Premise: Thoughts as the Root of Suffering. At the very heart of Don't Believe Everything You Think lies a singular, powerful premise. Our feelings and experiences are not directly caused by external events, but rather by our thinking about those events. This is a crucial distinction, serving as the foundational principle for the entire book. Joseph Nguyen emphatically asserts that the central theme is how our internal thoughts and the active process of thinking, as opposed to neutral arising thoughts, are the direct cause of most emotional pain, anxiety, and self-doubt. It's a compelling argument that challenges our preconceived notions about the origins of our discomfort. Nguyen emphasizes that while pain is an inevitable and undeniable part of life, suffering, on the other hand, is entirely optional. He brilliantly positions suffering as a creation of our own reactions and interpretations, a byproduct of how we engage with our thoughts. The book does not suggest that we can avoid all pain, for that is inherent to the human condition. Instead, it offers liberation from the self-imposed torment that arises from our internal narrative. This profound insight invites us to question the very fabric of our perceived reality and recognize the immense power our minds wield in shaping our emotional landscape. It's a call to understand that our mental processes, our constant rumination and interpretation, are the true architects of our distress. Chapter 2. Understanding Optional Suffering and the Subjectivity of Reality. Building upon its core premise, Don't Believe Everything You Think delves deeper into the concept of optional suffering, highlighting that while physical or external pain is indeed unavoidable, psychological and emotional suffering is presented as a choice. This choice, the book argues, can be transcended by fundamentally altering one's relationship with thought. It's a revolutionary idea, suggesting that much of our inner turmoil is not a consequence of external circumstances, but a direct result of our engagement with our own thinking. The book profoundly explores the subjectivity of reality, illuminating how our individual reality is meticulously shaped by our perceptions and interpretations of events, rather than by any objective reality itself. Nguyen illustrates this concept powerfully, suggesting that two people can experience the exact same event, yet elicit vastly different emotional responses. This divergence in feeling is not due to the event itself, but rather to their differing thoughts and the distinct ways they interpret and engage with those thoughts. This insight frees us from believing that external situations dictate our inner state, empowering us to recognize our own interpretive power. It means our suffering isn't imposed, it's generated from within. Chapter 3. The Crucial Distinction: thought and thinking. A pivotal concept introduced by Joseph Nguyen is the essential distinction between thought and thinking. He meticulously separates neutral thoughts, which are portrayed as ideas or impressions that arise effortlessly and spontaneously, from the active process of thinking. This thinking, as Nguyen defines it, involves our judgment, our engagement, and our attachment to these arising thoughts, and it is this very process that ultimately leads to suffering. This nuanced understanding is fundamental to unlocking the book's teachings. Nguyen's work challenges the common notion that we must control or actively stop our thoughts. Instead, it advocates for a far deeper understanding of these thought patterns. It encourages us to observe thoughts without immediately becoming entangled in their narratives or assigning them undue significance. This isn't about forced suppression, but rather about a shift in perspective, enabling us to recognize that thoughts are inherently temporary, frequently untrue, and crucially, not inherently us. This distinction allows readers to learn to observe their thoughts without being controlled by them, thereby profoundly reducing unnecessary suffering. It's about becoming an observer rather than an active participant in the creation of distress. Chapter 4: Cultivating Inner Peace Through Stillness and Awareness. Don't believe everything you think masterfully promotes the cultivation of mindfulness and mental stillness. Crucially, this isn't presented as a means to suppress thoughts, but rather as a powerful pathway to become intimately aware of them without getting entangled in their drama. Through this practice, the book suggests an underlying, ever-present state of peace and joy can beautifully emerge. It's about creating space for clarity amidst the mental clutter. The book passionately advocates for an approach where readers can learn to simply observe thoughts without being controlled by them. By doing so, they can effectively reduce unnecessary suffering. This technique encourages a profound disidentification with the internal chatter, fostering an environment where a natural awareness, our innate intuition, and an inherent wisdom can powerfully manifest. It's about letting go of the constant need to analyze, fix, or even engage, allowing the mind to quiet down and reveal its natural, calm state. This stillness isn't an absence, it's a presence, the presence of our true, peaceful nature. Chapter 5: Reconnecting with our natural state, joy, love, and clarity. One of the most uplifting and profound revelations within Don't Believe Everything You Think is the assertion that our natural state is inherently one of joy, love, peace, and clarity. The book guides readers to understand that this pristine state is perpetually accessible, waiting to be rediscovered when our minds quiet down. It's a powerful testament to our inherent well-being, suggesting that happiness is not something to be pursued externally, but something to be uncovered internally, beneath layers of thought. Nguyen suggests that by learning to observe our thoughts without being controlled by them, individuals can effectively reduce unnecessary suffering and reconnect with this authentic self. This is not about forcing positive thinking, nor is it about attempting to rewrite the past or engaging in superficial self-help tactics. Instead, it points toward a deeper truth, that true peace and happiness are already within us. The book proposes that when we cease to believe every thought that arises and allow our minds to settle, we naturally return to this foundational state of profound inner well-being. It's a reminder that our true nature is vibrant and clear, obscured only by the incessant noise of our own thinking. Chapter 6: Beyond Traditional Self-Help, A New Paradigm. Don't Believe Everything You Think truly stands out by offering what is described as a completely new paradigm for understanding human experience. This paradigm shifts the focus from temporary tactics like positive thinking, rewiring your brain, or rewriting your past to something far more profound, an expansion of consciousness. This distinct approach positions Nguyen's work apart from many other self-help books that often concentrate on motivation or sheer willpower. The book's uniqueness lies in its direct assertion that thinking itself, rather than merely the content of our thoughts, is the fundamental source of suffering. It advocates for a return to a natural state of non-thinking or mental stillness as the true path to peace and joy. Unlike approaches that might advise combating negative thoughts, Nguyen's work emphasizes that true liberation from suffering comes from questioning the very validity of our internal dialogue and learning to detach from negative thought patterns altogether. This is not about fighting thoughts, but about seeing them for what they are, temporary, often untrue, and ultimately not defining of who we are. It's a radical call to a deeper, more permanent shift in how we relate to our inner world. Chapter 7: Accessing Inner Wisdom and Intuition. A significant benefit highlighted in Don't Believe Everything You Think is the capacity for individuals to reconnect with their natural awareness, intuition, and inherent wisdom. This powerful reconnection is achieved by letting go of overthinking and effectively clearing away mental clutter. The book posits that when the mind quiets down, an innate intelligence, which is always present, becomes more accessible and guides us with greater clarity. This journey of letting go and trusting one's inner wisdom is a core tenet of Nguyen's philosophy. It's not about finding external answers or following prescriptive rules, but about cultivating a quiet inner space where solutions and insights can naturally arise. By recognizing that thoughts are temporary and often untrue, and by learning to observe them without being controlled, readers can tap into a deeper reservoir of understanding. This allows for decision-making that is more aligned with one's true self, free from the distortions of anxious or habitual thinking. It's an invitation to trust the deeper current of knowing that resides within each of us, a current often obscured by the relentless stream of our minds. Chapter 8: Practical Strategies to Understand Thought Patterns. While promoting a shift in consciousness, Don't Believe Everything You Think also provides immensely practical strategies designed to help readers understand thought patterns and break free from the cycle of overthinking. Crucially, these strategies are not about actively fighting or attempting to suppress thoughts, but rather about cultivating a different kind of relationship with them. This non-confrontational approach allows for sustainable change. The book encourages readers to recognize that thoughts are temporary and not inherently us. This recognition is a powerful tool, enabling individuals to observe their internal dialogue without judgment or attachment. It's about seeing thoughts as transient events in the mind, much like clouds passing in the sky. By adopting this observer stance, one can significantly reduce unnecessary suffering. The practical application lies in consistently bringing awareness to the nature of thought itself, understanding its ephemeral quality, and thus diminishing its power over one's emotional state. It's a gentle yet firm method for cultivating detachment and fostering a calmer, more resilient inner experience, offering a clear path to mental liberation. Chapter 9: The Expansion of Consciousness and Permanent Shift. Ultimately, Don't Believe Everything You Think culminates in advocating for nothing less than an expansion of consciousness that leads to a permanent shift in perspective. This isn't about forcing positive thinking or attempting to rewrite the past. Instead, it's about a fundamental transformation in how one perceives and interacts with reality itself. The book powerfully argues that we cannot solve problems with the same level of consciousness that initially created them, thereby necessitating a deeper, more enduring change. This expansion of consciousness is presented as the true path to lasting peace, happiness, and freedom from anxiety, self-doubt, and overthinking.
It moves beyond superficial adjustments, aiming for a profound reorientation of one's inner world. By understanding that thoughts are the primary source of emotional suffering and by learning to observe them without attachment, individuals can transcend the very mechanism that creates distress. This journey leads to an intrinsic and unwavering sense of well-being, enabling one to access their natural state of joy, love, peace, and clarity. It is a promise of not just temporary relief, but a radical and permanent shift in one's fundamental experience of life.
Final summary. Joseph Nguyen's Don't Believe Everything You Think offers an absolutely exhilarating and profoundly impactful exploration of the human mind, presenting a completely new paradigm for understanding our experiences. The book's central message is crystal clear. Our emotional and psychological suffering primarily stems not from external events, but from our thinking about those events. This powerful insight liberates us from the endless pursuit of external solutions, directing us inward to the true source of our distress and, more importantly, our peace. What makes this book truly unique is its direct assertion that thinking itself, rather than the mere content of our thoughts, is the wellspring of suffering. It courageously challenges us to move beyond temporary tactics and instead embrace an expansion of consciousness, a deeper, more permanent shift in perspective. Nguyen's warm, pragmatic, and accessible style makes this timeless wisdom easy to absorb, guiding readers to cultivate mental stillness, observe thoughts without entanglement, and ultimately to reconnect with their natural state of joy, love, and clarity. By recognizing that suffering is optional and can be transcended through a changed relationship with thought, Don't Believe Everything You Think stands as an indispensable guide for anyone seeking lasting freedom from anxiety, self-doubt, and the relentless noise of overthinking. It's an empowering call to question our internal dialogue and rediscover the inherent wisdom and peace that reside within us all.
Thanks for listening. If you found this summary valuable, please like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts. To support the channel, all links are in the description.